you've got to have systems and processes. You've got to have other people with roles in your business to make sure that it sustains, because the worst thing that happens is you get super fucking busy and you're doing stuff. All of a sudden clients start slipping through the cracks or not getting responded to. Now you're just showing everybody how you don't help. And then your business ends up tanking. So it's like, no, man, you can't just throw the ball by. But like the analogy I'm using here is like throwing a pitch by a guy that's relying on gritting it out or just talent.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, man, like there's so much more that you have to apply within like growth. Yeah. And you got to be prepared for it.
Sam, talk about that. Cause that's been, I feel like the latest for you, right? Channel's doing well. It's converting, all that stuff. You've got business coming in.
Are you making a lot of money?
You've got a buyer's agent coming in. Money. Yeah. You've got some new kids you're able to spend some time with.
Write your number down, honestly.
How's the channel doing?
I'll tell you.
Yeah. How's the channel doing?
How much?
I mean, so I stepped out of production in November.
Yep.
Of last year. Yep. My son was born. I'm like,
you made it a full year in real estate.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to do any more showings or write any more contracts, negotiate any more inspections. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Which, full disclosure, you also struggled with. Because I remember before we had the talk, before you need it, bro, hire this buyer's agent.
Yeah.
And then it was, I think it was only 6 months. I remember you saying, man, I've only been licensed like 6 months, really? It was like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I groomed this young kid to do it.
He was a client. He fucking reached out on YouTube.
And so he came down, we had lunch. He was flipping shoes, selling mattresses.
Flipping shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, like Jordans and shit?
Yeah. And he was a competitive runner in college. I'm like, I think he'd be a good realtor. Like that combo, something like stuff.
He like cannot wait to get out of real estate. He's just like,
dude, can't wait. Can't fucking
dude,
wait.
You're super good at panhandling. You'd be a good realtor.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, no
fucking
shit.
hell.
But he called me a few weeks later. He's like, I'm getting my license. So he went for it, got his license, moved down, started I'm like, you got to find your own leads at first until you have some of mine. But then like my son was born, stepped out of production, and I mean, he's done 30 deals since.
Dude, it reminds me of like when you and I first spoke and like I was getting my license, and like I talk to a lot of people that are starting to like think about getting into real estate, and like I tell them, I go, hey, listen, get your license. No, yeah, I know, but like, I was thinking, and it's like, hey,
shut the fuck up.
It's not that I'm not excited about what you're thinking. It's that your fucking license. Yep. And I use that as a filter, man. Because like I can't give time. If you can't commit to a couple months of studying and applying yourself through a testing process to just get through that first control measure to being a realtor. Because there's people that have a license that are still so far off as far as like work ethic. I know like if you can't even put the effort in to get your license, there's just not a conversation to have yet. And you've really got to be particular with your time, But that's fucking dope. And like you structure your life different. Like this is where everybody has to like understand and prioritize what they do, right? Because like you can live like within your means, whatever that is for you. But like for you, it's like you're not buying the fucking Lambo. You're not gambling your fucking money. You're buying $50,000 watches. You're like,
I've never driven a car with a car payment.
There you go. But what I'm getting at is like everybody's got to figure out their win. Like for you, it's like, hey, I want time with my son. Yeah. Right. So like, and then you get a buyer agent. He starts working. Like, hey, financially, giving him part of the deal plus me having the deal. I'm running the content. He's running the transactions. I make enough money. I don't have to run any of that. I can work 14 hours a week with doing content. The rest of my time, I can give to my kiddos. Hey, man, that's a fucking win.
Huge
for you.
win.
Super
huge win.
Yeah.
So numbers. So what's your channel looking like?
So first year, that was just me. Brought in 72,000 net commission.
Yep.
So and then this year so far, I'm at 120, and my agent's at that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So that's 240 in GCI.
Yeah.
Yep. Just solely YouTube. Oh yeah.
Net,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So good. So that's after your splits. That's after all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We are actually taking that home.
Right.
So what's the total commission it's brought in?
240.
No, that's net. What's the total you think before bills are paid?
I mean, that's just
look at it.
The split. I'd have to look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Add 20%.
Yeah, probably another, 40 grand.
How much does your channel cost to run?
It cost me my editor that I just hired. So I shot and edited my first 120 videos.
You're also good at that shit, and you like
and
doing it.
And I've done it.
And you like doing it.
What an asshole.
Or did.
Yeah. Good for you, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, I liked it. that part of it was fun to me, that like iterative growth of that.
Well, and look, man, if you got a buyer agent at some point, like that also frees up some time where you can do it. But if you're good at it and you like it, then you're being time efficient. If you're not good at it and you don't like it, don't fucking do that.
That's why I wanted to make that point, because there's so many people, they'll spend 10 hours on a video for it to look like fucking trash.
No. Yeah. My editor, like now, so he does like the first couple passes on a video, and then I'll kind of just add some touches at the end.
Yep.
But I even tell him, like, perfect is the enemy. Like perfect is the enemy in this. Like,
make sure it's time and you guys are proficient with your time.
If this is good content, it's good content.
Yep.
Right? Like, this doesn't need to feel like a documentary. This doesn't need to feel like a movie. Like, no, that's not what we're making. We're making YouTube videos.
Yep.
People are putting this on their TV.
It might actually hurt you more.
Exactly.
Well, people want to feel like they're feeling like they're walking with you down the street, and like whatever area or neighborhood that you're showing, they want to actually feel, with good quality, clear content, but as raw as it can be, to feel like they're walking right next to you.
Yeah.
If it's a movie trailer.
And especially if you want people to reach out, if you want people to feel comfortable,
if they're looking at moving somewhere, they're not looking at Dwayne Johnson flying in his fucking cape through a neighborhood.
No.
If you're looking at an action movie, then they want it to be an action movie. But it's not what
you
got to
be accessible. You've got to, if they feel like you're so like, man, this documentary guy, you're just not accessible. They're not going to reach out.
Break. You guys talk.
Yeah, good.
So I pay my editor about $400 a month.
Yep.
I pay him $25 an hour.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
But
but only $400 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm giving it to him kind of piecemeal. So I'm like, I need you to get faster at this part, and then I'll give you the graphics. And then we can get faster at that part, and I'll give you this next part.
How many videos is he doing per week?
1 to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8 a month.
Yeah.
$400 a month.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, and I'm paying him hourly right now.
Yeah.
And we'll get to a point to where he like pay per video, because I want him to be incentivized to go faster.
So how much is he spending? How much time does he spend on a video?
2 hours.
That's really good.
Or less.
Yeah, that's really good. Are you teeing it up pretty nice for him?
Yeah.
Like you're organized with all your shit that you're getting over there?
Super organized, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's got to help.
And I've practiced on camera a lot. And I've had friends that are actors give me feedback, things like that. I've tried to get really good at that so that I'm really easy to edit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's one take.
I'm not stumbling around. I'm not saying I'm even feedback from video editors of like, how should I say this, or how far back should I go if I mess up? Like some of those things that make it easier for an editor. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's a good tip.
Costs about $400 a month for my editor, and the channel makes that in AdSense anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So it pays for itself.
Yep.
Well, you make more than 400. Wait. Oh, AdSense.
Just from your AdSense. Yeah.
Do we have that?
We do have it set up.
Fucking
I just need to connect Google AdWords.
What a fucking...
It's collecting somewhere.
You're Jewish. How are you just leaving money on the table?
I told you I'm the worst Jewish guy ever.
You are.
I've been telling you that this whole time.
Be a better Jew, because that's why I reached out to you in the first place.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I
need your help getting my Google AdWords.
Dude, you had your yarmulke on. It was Christmas. I was going through and I was like, I'm gonna work with that guy right there.
That's awesome.
Nope.
That's
fucking
awesome.
False advertising. You're probably just trying to get into my pants.
That's obvious.
Into my broke pants back then.
That is obvious.
So what's the goal right now as far as like channel progress you're having? What's the best piece of like, what are the best videos you're doing? Where's the progress there? And like, what's your next step with real estate?
Yeah. A big thing that you guys said is like, you run someone else's play for a while, and then you realize like, I can't run somebody's play forever.
Right.
How do I make this my own? How do I make this sustainable for myself to keep doing it? And so one way I've done that is through like doing series. Like I did a series called Tampa Explained, where I like broke down the map and like created a framework, like a decision-making framework. And I just like that kind of content.
Explain.
Yeah.
So,
because I'm trying to run your play and make our channel better.
Yeah, you should. And
hear that? He's like, yeah, you should. Your channel sucks.
People in Tampa are just like straight copying this right now.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
But it's
you know how they do.
But it's not working.
No. So
because they're not.
Gotta get them under you, bro.
I created this framework. Say, okay, we're gonna look at the whole area through this. We're gonna talk about proximity, style, size, and cost.
Okay.
So then I'll explain some of these nuances about the Tampa area. There's tons of unincorporated area. It's strange.
Right.
But then we're going to break the map down. Okay, South Tampa. Okay, downtown. Okay, east suburbs. And like actually talk about them in that framework, because then that playlist lives a certain way. And then somebody could easily go watch through that whole playlist and get a good feel and reach out.
And you feel like there's so much there, it's worth more than one video.
Yeah. And it writes the content for itself as well.
Are you doing screen shares for these, or what are you doing?
So now I'm doing a Living on the Water series, where I am doing more screen shares, and I am getting more in the MLS, and I'm actually like letting people in my brain a little bit more of how I would like think about those kind of things.
Yeah.
And people seem to really like that.
So explain that. So you're showing a map and you're talking about different areas on the map and stuff like that in real time.
Yeah.
And
so then I just send a screen recording and I send my A-roll to my editor, and then my face is just down in the corner.
And what are you doing with the MLS?
So someone questioned like what's the cheapest water view? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I like that question.
Let me literally go show you.
And then that like audience engagement, like, hey, I'm okay with you guys driving this series a little bit. Like, let's dig into this question. And it took me 15 minutes to make the video.
And then, right. But it's not live. You pre-record this, then upload it.
Correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It could be live. And I mean, I've gone down that road a little bit, but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, you don't know if like, it's cool to do live and people could ask questions, but it just depends on if anyone's jumping on, happens to jump on right when you're doing it. People tend to like want to research stuff, and like watch times are great. Our watch time's like over 10 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever it is. People want to like consume it. So they want to like, hey, like when they get off of work or whatever, maybe like they want to sit on and consume it. So popping on when it's live, like that's so much different than like somebody popping on for like an Instagram live. Like, oh yeah, cool, I'm at my desk. Like, yeah, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Oh
yeah, it's different.
Off of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll show the MLS and like actually, type in the search. Like, yeah, we want a view of this, and then like go show some listings.
Yep.
And like criticize them too. I'm like, this isn't a real water view. This is like a water view from the balcony of the gym
So
at the
relatable.
condo complex. It's like super relatable.
Yeah.
So like the more people
appreciate that honesty.
they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people,
Because you just saved them time. Because if they'd have gone to go look at that condo, like, dude, what am I doing here? Like, oh, this is the photo from the gym on the 14th floor that everybody gets to use.
Exactly.
Like, man, it's almost like, dude, bait and switch in like the car industry is illegal.
Yep.
You can't be marketing a car that you know is already gone. Like the fact that like realtors can like market that, it's like, well, technically it is an ocean view. Yeah, if I'm up here working out with it, like you should disclose that.
Yeah,
you know,
right,
like I don't know, man.
Yeah,
like
way more gray area.
And what realtors don't know is like, hey, man, you're actually like, you could be hurting your product, because if your product is not as good as what people are imagining it to be when they show up, they've got this negative vibe. Like I can't even explain how much when it comes to like listing a product, how if it's underwhelming when they get there because you set this precedence.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much that hurt, because now even though like it's under what they thought, it could still be great, but because you made it this and now it's this, kind of like you're going 160 miles an hour and you slow down to 120, you're gonna feel like you're going so slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're going 120 miles an hour, right? Like same thing. Like you make this listing this, right? Because you're trying to compete with the real ocean views, wherever it may be, and it's not. It's like, man, it could still be a great listing, but because people feel lower than what they expect it to feel when they show up, it's just there's a negative stamp on it, and it hurts you. Versus like just let the property be what the property is, and just allow it to flourish, because people that can afford that one, because it's probably more affordable than the one that's on the real water, they're appreciative for like what it is. So just let it be that, right?
Yeah. But people like that critical side.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and you guys feel it with YouTube. I mean, that part of it's kind of annoying sometimes. They want the negative things.
Well, that's why people reach out to us, because they're like, hey, you guys are just honest.
Exactly.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, you say you don't like it.
Right.
Yeah, I tell them all I don't like Eli all the time.
They do.
On camera.
Yeah.
So, man, with your channel, so
one more question.
Yeah,
How many subscribers do you have?
8,000.
There you go. So
fuck yeah.
another thing I want to explain to you guys. He doesn't have 200,000 subscribers. He doesn't have 500,000 subscribers. He's got 8,000, but it's a mile deep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a super
We've had over
niche-
2,000 reach outs.
Right. You've got a super niche lane, just like we do here in Denver.
Yep.
Yeah.
But people are calling, text messaging, emailing, and they're wanting to buy a home with you.